A bunch of famous and infamous characters came out of the hit TV series Seinfeld. Today on Adventurer, one of them is our guest, Mr. J. Peterman. Remember him? Stay tuned. Welcome to Adventurer, the show where people truly push their lives to the limits. No talking heads here, just the real deals. I'm your host, Jim Clash. Today's guest pushed the limits of your nerves as Elaine's witty boss, J. Peterman, on the hit TV series Seinfeld. But John O'Hurley has done a lot more than Seinfeld. He's a Broadway actor, best-selling author, and game show host. John, thanks for coming on.
Oh, yeah. Thanks. Nice to be here.
You know, I got to probe the Seinfeld years.
Gently. Please.
Yeah, okay.
Please. I'm tender.
Okay. You know, lots of characters that came and went on that show, but you were one of the recurring characters as Elaine's boss, J. Peterman.
J. Peterman.
How did you guys come up with J. Peterman instead of, say, J. Crew or L.L. Bean or Joseph A. Banks?
The writers on Seinfeld were big fans of the J. Peterman catalog. If you've not read the J. Peterman catalog, it is probably the most unusual catalog there is. It is a collection, it's a piece of literature actually. The people, when they get it, they read cover to cover in addition to purchasing the items. It is, they are, you know, long Hemingway stories about an Oxford button-down, and by the way, it's $400.
Right.
And it's, yeah, I mean, that's, so it's you know, it's a fascinating character. So they were fans of the catalog, so they say let's bring the character on and let's have Elaine work for him. But wouldn't it be funny if J. Peterman talked the way the catalog was written? In other words, this stuff just was trippingly off his tongue. And so that was really the genesis of the character. And then when they gave me the catalog and said, just, you know, dream something up, I said, well, it sounds to me like a bit of a 40s radio drama combined with a bit of a bad Charles Kuralt. So that's where the voice came and the stylizing of it.
Can you do something for me from it? Do you remember anything?
Oh gosh, I remember so much of it. I could probably do 4 hours of it for you. My favorite episode, I'll give you a little tidbit of that, was it was the wedding cake episode. Actually, it was called The Frogger, but it was when Elaine stole my priceless piece of World War II wedding cake from the Duke and Duchess of Windsor collection there, and then replaced it with a $2 slice of Entenmann's. And I finally corner her with my security cameras, and I say to her, Elaine, do you have any idea what happens to a butter-based frosting after 6 decades in a poorly ventilated British basement? I take what you're about to go through is punishment enough. Dismissed. Great writing.
Spoken like the true J. Peterman. Now I know
a legend in his own mind.
John, you do a lot of stuff. I mean, you host the Family Feud. Mm-hmm. You won Dancing with the Stars.
No,
right?
Controversially, I won the dance-off. Don't put that out there, because there's, you know, not since the Hanging Chads of Palm Beach County has there been such a controversy over fancy footwork.
But you're also an author, and you know, we have your latest book here, which I'll hold up to the camera, It involves children and dogs. Tell us what that means.
Well, it's titled "Before Your Dog Can Eat Your Homework, First You Have to Do It," and this is a sequel to kind of not quite a sequel, but within the same style of the first book that I wrote, which did so well last year. This is actually a collection of letters that were written by my dog that I found, the secret letters that were written by my dog and for my son. And these little letters, each one of them was a lesson on manhood, a lesson on life, and so basically it was being given to the lessons from a wise old dog to the boy who barely knew him.
And you're a big dog lover, right?
I am a big dog lover. In fact, I host the National Dog Show on Thanksgiving Day for NBC, which has now become kind of a family tradition, and strangely enough, the most successful event that they do on NBC all year long. I mean, it does almost Seinfeld's numbers, and who'd have thought that a dog show would be their most successful event? But no surprise, everybody loves dogs, so it's a wonderful thing. And dogs have been such a big part of my life, and they were the premise of the first book, that everything I've ever really needed to learn in life, essentially, I've learned from my dogs, and the book was titled "It's Okay to Miss the Bet on the First Jump."
And that was a New York Times bestseller.
That was. I went to, it hung around the top there for a while, and just came out in paperback right now. At the same time, the second book is coming out.
Do you still keep in touch with any of the old Seinfeld guys? I mean, George.
Well, it's a small business. Yes, we wander and we cross each other's paths all the time. Yeah, yeah. I'm actually doing Monty Python's Spamalot out in Vegas right now as King Arthur. I'm on hiatus until January,
Yeah.
but so I see Jerry because he's in and out of Caesars all the time, and I'm over at the Wynn, and then Jason's out every now and then, and I've seen Julie out there as well. So yeah, it's a pretty small business. So
hanging out in Vegas, huh?
Hey, slumming in Vegas, you know. Well, you know, Keno is a pretty compelling game, you know.
You said something right before we went on about some guy coming up to you and asking about Seinfeld. Can you tell me what that was again?
So a guy was talking about it. He says, "Yeah, I really missed the show." He said, "I wish it." He said, "So you still doing it?" And I said, I was going, "Yeah, we're just shooting the reruns now." He says, "Oh, yeah, I watch those."
Okay. Sounds like J. Peterman speak. John, thanks for coming on. We wish you the best of luck with the book and in your career, okay?
Thank you.
Okay.
Good to be with you.
Okay. Again, J. Peterman, a.k.a. John O'Hurley. I'm Forbes adventurer Jim Clash. To read my column, pick up Forbes magazine or click on Forbes.com/adventurer. And thanks for watching the Forbes.com video network.